All right, guys. So we are live here, and we're fortunate enough to spend time with Wendy here. She's kind enough to take time out of her day to really chat about, in detail, what has been her experience working with Good Vibe Squad. Afternoon, Wendy. Thank you for your time here.
You're welcome.
So I'll let you just take this away. Why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself, Wendy, who you are, where you're from, and what do you do?
Okay, my name is Wendy Thompson, and I'm from the Memphis, Tennessee area. No, that is not a Boston accent, for those of you who are wondering. I have been in the business almost 19 years, and today my strategy or whatever, I've always been a loan originator. I'm just an individual loan originator, and about 3 years ago, decided that I wanted to help other people grow their business and to kind of share what I had learned through the years. And so now I'm also a branch manager and have a couple of partners. And so we're on a mission to be able to help other originators as well grow their business.
Sweet. And thank you for taking the time, Wendy. You are actually kind of a very unique client of ours because I remember, I think we started chatting about a year ago, more than a year ago. And it took you a while to actually sign up with us. I think it took you maybe like 6 months, right? So,
it did.
6 months. So first of all, what made you decide to really just jump the gun and work with us, and what took you so long?
Okay, great question. So yes, you're correct. We had spoken a little over a year ago, and although I knew a lot of people who knew you, we had some common acquaintances. I had, probably just like most other loan officers, had been either worked with other people who swore by their results, or was actively working with people that swore by their results on Facebook. And I will be honest, and I think I even told you this when I finally decided to work with you. I was like, okay, you're my last time. I could have bought a car for as much money as I had spent both in ad management as well as in my ad spend. And so I was probably a lot more skeptical than maybe most of the people that you have as clients. And it was just because of my experience. And, I probably have active solicitations in my email to right this second. And it's just really hard because a lot of times it's someone that just woke up one day and said, oh my gosh, everybody's selling VA leads online. Let me jump on this bandwagon. And they don't really have that marketing experience or really have the ability to generate. I mean, we can all generate leads. And so it's about the quality of the leads that's important. And that is where you guys are unique. I mean, I have sang yours and Preston's praises on social media, as well as giving you referrals, and just, and it's not just fluff. I'm not getting anything for this. I just feel like if they want to invest in Facebook ads and for mortgage specific, then they definitely need to do it with Good Vibes.
And thank you for that. The main thing that it took you a long time because of, it is natural right now. There's so much ads out there.
Noise, a lot of noise.
There's so much noise. So what made you actually just decide to go with us then as your last resort? Like what?
I don't really know. Like I said, I had tried, like a dozen plus other people. They were very good usually and have a lot of experience. And so I guess it was just kind of that once shame on you, twice shame on me. And even though I felt like it was going to be different this time, I was already working with 2 other companies. And obviously with Facebook ads, sometimes it's not an immediate, you may or may not, sometimes you might get lucky and have a great success and be able to close one in, 1 or 2 months. But a lot of times it's something that you're building the pipeline. These buyers could be, 2 to 5 months out. And so it's something that you're going to have to do it. And when you commit to doing it, you're going to have to do it for a few months. You can't just sell yourself short. So it's not something you're going to be able to do 1 month and then pull the plug. And so after my time period with some other different people expired, I was just like, okay, McBilly, I'm ready. And I think actually what it was is you that kind of triggered it back was you had ran some kind of, I don't know what you did, but it was something in March. Did you remember what it was? It was like a special or something. You're like, hey, this is this. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And so,
that's, I think that was my birthday.
It was. When's your birthday? Like March 16th? When is your birthday?
March 14th.
Okay, that's exactly what it was. Okay, so it was Billy's birthday special. So you don't wait until next year. So, but yeah, so it was your special for your birthday. And I was like, okay, look, I've been talking to him for a long time. I've been following him. I'm going to give him a try. And so I kind of jumped in all in, and it's been amazing. And my team is like, what? We're going to try Facebook ads again. Oh my God, are you kidding me? And this has, actually, you're the only company that I've ever closed transactions with. So, and just the quality of the lead is off the chart. Like because most of the time you're getting a lot of bogus information, whether it be the name, the email, the phone number. I'm sure you've seen it all.
Mm-hmm.
And these are just people. And I think I shared with you like last week or the week before,
Mm-hmm.
there's even been people, my husband is in law enforcement, and there's even been people that I know that have actually filled out the request. And,
Right.
my husband, being in law enforcement, you're very like skeptical, and you're like, oh my gosh, don't give your information online. And these people were really giving you their real information. And so the thing that I've found is that the credit quality is just really, really, really good. And I think in addition to the credit quality, the messaging and the follow-up strategies or the follow-up campaigns that you have are really spot on, where I have people that respond and, they're not like, oh, leave me alone. Why are you calling me? Because sometimes it can come off a little bit too aggressive. And I feel like your message is very spot on. And I know that you and I talked about it. You're actually making some additional improvements to help with that. But I think it's more with Facebook, it's the ad copy that's going to attract people. And it's also going to be the quality of the leads that you're attracting. And then what the actual messaging is that you're continuing to communicate. And I know that you guys have pretty long campaigns built out, which allows, if someone doesn't respond immediately, then they're still getting dripped on, maybe just not as frequently. And so I think that's been a really good, and I've had other people that have had the campaigns, but they just haven't been as extreme not extreme, but just as effective.
So one thing that we've realized is, and to be honest, it's been an evolution too, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say like we figured it out, right? Yes, we continuously really just solve problems. Like, that's our job. And, we've been doing this for a while now, and, talking to you, talking to all of our clients, talking to just trying to solve problems. The one thing that we've really seen is, there's a lot of missing pieces that even if you do get like good leads, if you don't have systems in place to even like close those, then it's just going to go to waste, right? And so you've tried a lot of systems, and you have a lot of experience on this. And this is actually quite interesting, because I didn't know that this is the first system that you've tried that you've actually closed online leads from. That's
correct.
That's crazy to me. And that's awesome. I'm just surprised, honestly. And so what would you say, Wendy, is like, just looking at everything that you've tried before versus ours, like what is kind of like the biggest difference that you really like with our service?
I mean, like kind of like I've already mentioned, and yes, said I could have bought a small car. It's just the lead quality. And so, and I think part of it's probably, and it's going to be a little over people's head, but I think maybe the seasoning of your pixel, because what you attract more. And so Facebook learns, what you're looking for. And so I think just a lot of it is just the history and how good the leads that you're generating are. And so you continue to generate more leads for us. And so, I mean, that's just been the biggest difference. And it's funny because I've even used, I've told your name to, you probably have other people that are stalking you, because like I'll call and try to sell me, and I'm like, okay, hold on one second. I was like, hey, I'll call someone on my team. I'm like, hey, how are our goodbye leads? She's like, oh my gosh, they're awesome. I mean, we truly, it's not like we really are like, you're like, oh my gosh, another bad lead. These are so, most of the credit scores are, they're not having to do credit repair. They are truly like, if they wanted to buy today, they're good to go today. And again, it's just the credit, it's just the quality of the actual lead. And I feel like they're, because of the messaging of the ad, they truly want to buy a home and they want to know more about your program. So, and I'm going to know, and I'll talk a little bit more about this in another thing that we're going to do, but you really have it. Online leads are hard, and they're all hard. Because not only, it's very, like I said, about for us as loan originators, it's very noisy. Well, it's noisy for the consumer as well. And so, it's noisy for me outside of the loan industry, where I'm clicking and looking and, you're always saying, okay, wait, what is this? And I just feel like these are they truly have a high interest. And, I'm not getting I always say that they're not giving you the finger, they're really being positive. And, hey, so they're just not, I don't know, just the quality of the leads is what it is. And just the credit score quality, the level of interest, just everything about the lead itself is good.
Okay, that's awesome. And so because that's super important, where, you just don't want to waste your time, right? And this was kind of funny because before when we started working together, Wendy, like you asked a lot of questions and I feel like you know more about like Facebook than the average, like consumer from what I've experienced with you. You know a little bit more on the technical side, but like at the end of the day, do you really want to learn Facebook versus just originating loans?
No.
Right? So
No.
it's not a good, not a good use of your time. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're leveraging now the system, because now, okay, so we have good quality leads, they have good credit. They are interested in talking to an actual lender, not a realtor. Right. Now, what do you like about, the actual process though, as far as like, not just the system, but like the whole thing in like working with us? Can you kind of talk a little bit more about that?
Okay. Yes, absolutely. The system is extremely easy to use. I love it. I've used other systems in the past where you're not allowed to like set tasks or you're not allowed to put comments. It's true full CRM, so you can use it. Exclusively when it comes to these with the leads that are being generated.
Okay.
The thing that I like about it as well are the number of people that actually set appointments. So I don't know if we've actually discussed that piece, but so kind of what happens is you're running the ad, people are actually filling out the questionnaire, and if they wish, they can schedule an appointment to talk to you. And we have multiple people, sometimes multiple people in a day that are scheduling appointments with us. And that's really good. And also the follow-up on the appointment scheduling for the actual lead itself, and then the reminders, for the ability to put on your calendar automatically is really good. And then also the systems. And then, like I mentioned, the messaging, that in the follow-up, and we all know that the money is in the follow-up, and the messaging is just really, really, I think, fine-tuned. I know you say it's a work in process, and I agree. You always are trying to improve, and I know you guys are doing some great things right now, but the messaging is really important as well. So, just kind of, I don't really have any complaints. That's why I even do all my weekly calls. But yeah, and then something too, now that I think about that, I think an additional really big advantage is the ability, a lot of times people's like, okay, spend X, we're going to give you Y in leads, and you get that, and then you're like just on your own. So I love the fact that I get an email every week, and it's like, hey, it's time for you to schedule your weekly, your little weekly coaching call. So you're a partner, and you want me to be successful. It's not, I can promise you, it's not about the amount that I'm paying you on a monthly basis. And I know that with both you as well as with Preston too, that we really kind of dive deep. And I'll say, I just recently in August doubled my ads. Literally doubled my ad spend because of the quality of the leads. And for me, I was looking for a vending machine. Okay, if I put 1,000 in, can I get 5,000 out? And how many thousands can I give you? And so I've had great conversations, and you guys have been really receptive. And I said, hey, what if I do this? Or what about this? Or maybe this campaign isn't running as well in me. And I'm really getting a lot of, apps on teachers, for example. And we've kind of covered and switched. And I think that's been really important. And it probably is not as important for me as it would be for someone that isn't maybe as experienced as me, who kind of knows and go, hey, we need to do this, this, and this. So I think that's extremely helpful. I think that's important when you're looking for a lead provider partner.
And so, yeah, because you bring up a good point there. A lot of people, when they think about like these marketing and advertising, they think that, you could just copy, paste an ad copy and it's going to work, right? And it doesn't work. Right. It is kind of an organic process because, there's legitimately a lot of factors, what state you're in, what your area is, what are specific products that you have, right? Or what niches do you, like to work with, right? Or your whole business model. And, that's one thing that we want to make sure that you want to dial in on, right? So for people that are probably looking for something that they want to add in, a marketing system, what would you say, Wendy, is like, what should be like a mindset for people to have in terms of working a system like this? What are the things that they need to look out for? And what are the things that can at least help them guarantee success?
One of the things that you need to be mindful of, or I guess not necessarily look out for, but mindful of, is to make sure that you have either the team or you have the time to actually be able to do the follow-up, because the follow-up is key. You can bring me the leads, but it's up to me to do that conversion. And so if, I'm really, really busy that day, or, like I know day before yesterday, we got like an influx of leads coming in. So we're like calling them all yesterday, even though, we had a follow-up system in place. So I think that one of the things, you have to be ready to be able to commit to that. And you have to have, in addition to your system, you have to have a really good follow-up system in place from once they do an application to get them to actually go under contract and become a past client. And so you just have to be mindful with that. And I started in the spring, and even though I've had great results, my results probably weren't as good as what I could have had I actually been more diligent, and we spent daily time. We kind of really, a lot of times, I mean, our success has been great, but it was only, a lot of it was just, okay, we had 7 people that set appointments this week, and we're really only going to focus on those. And then when we have time, we're going to go back and follow up on the people that didn't schedule an appointment. And so, and for me, one of the things that it was important to me, and one of the mindset is, as a loan officer, most of us have built our business on referrals from realtors, which is great, but then you're depending on someone else to provide, income for you. And so for me, the mind shift that I did about 5 years ago, and I also, let me back up to with that is, I believe in not putting all your eggs in one basket. So even if you have other successful things that you're doing, or you're like, oh, well, I get all my business from referrals, or hey, I get all my business from past clients. While each of them independently or as a whole are good, because I believe that there's a table and you have, different legs of the table, you really don't need to be in a situation where all your business is coming from one source. You need to make sure that you do this. And this is a great tool for you to be able to give outbound referrals to your referral partners. And so that was one of the big things for me, is that I have been earnestly searching for things that I could do that I could give outbound referrals. And that is what, this system has for me. And so that's kind of one of the boxes that it checks. And it's so much so that I'm reaching out and establishing relationships and other people with other realtors outside of my area in order to be able to give outbound referrals to them.
That's awesome, Wendy. Well, that's one thing that is important just for, other loan officers that are probably watching this. Like, it's important to understand that, you want to look for a system that can generate you business right now, direct to consumer, but you still want to, build up your referral pipeline, right? Because most loan officers, you built the business around referrals, past clients, realtor partners, and you want to grow that. But on top of that, generate business directly using something that, if you can go direct to consumer, get them pre-approved, you could utilize this to generate and either strengthen or attract more or better realtor partners, right?
Yes. So last year I gave out 8.4 million of pre-approved buyers to my referral partners.
There you go. Sweet. That's awesome. It took you a long time to, I guess, kind of like find a marketing partner. For other people that might be watching this, Wendy, they might be looking for a similar marketing system, similar partner that you have with Good Vibe Squad. Maybe they're on the fence. They don't know who we are. What would you tell them if they're kind of like on the fence?
I would tell them to do it today. It's not Billy's birthday, but it's about to be my son. So we'll have to no, I'm teasing. Yeah. No, I would say that this is a really good time of the year. And like I said, and I'm not just saying this, I have said it. And by the way, he's been trying to get me to, I've been so emphatic about how great this is that they've been trying to get me to do videos for since the beginning, because that good. And you're really missing out. So definitely do it. And now we're going into the slower months. And so this is the time that it would allow you to be able to build up your pipeline, so that you're working with the people that are ready today, but then are also going to be ready in 2 to 5 months. And so have a little bit more time conversion in. So, like I said, look no further. Really, you could obviously work. Like I said, they are a dime a dozen, but it's worth a dime. So spend $1. Anyway, it's really good. And I would just to not be slow like me. I'm 6 months behind. And so go ahead and do it whenever you have the opportunity. And again, it is something that you might get lucky and you might close loans within the first, 6 weeks, but know that it's a longer strategy. And, so you have to make sure that you go slow and steady, and that it's something that that you can do consistently for at least 3 to 4 to 5 months, just to make sure and to be able to weigh whether this is good. And for me, I don't use it as far as closed loans as much as I do. Obviously that's a metric that I measure, but what it really is quality of the leads. And so I'll tell someone if I'm looking at something on this or that, hey, I'm not going to be one of these that I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't closed any deals in 30 days. I want to know what the quality of the leads. I had something else I was doing with Google here. I just quit for the end of July, and I could tell it's like, this is horrific. And so I already, cut it off because there was no need to continue, because it wasn't like they were good. And I knew that in 3 months I was going to close deals. I'm like sifting through the rubble, and there was no diamonds in the rough. And these are, you have to go get other buckets to pick up the diamonds. So
that's so funny. Well, thank you, Wendy. Thank you for your time, and we appreciate you.